I do want to take a moment to reiterate an announcement I made the other day about a fundraising effort to support the Ohio Flags of Honor Memorial. Gino's fundraising is primarily a grassroots effort with what he collects at these events to help with the day-to-day operations. New flags, I mean, he's gone through a lot of flags. On a windy weekend like this, he goes through quite a few flags. New poles, flag clips that break, and then getting back and forth to these events. He's currently driving, I think it's almost a 23-year-old truck now with about 300,000 miles on it. And last year, going to and from 3 different events, the truck broke down on him, and the repairs cost a total of over $10,000, which put a huge drain on the memorial fund. So a few of us, led by myself and Mayor Byrne of Parma Heights, have put together a team of people that are raising money to try to fund a new truck for Gino, and we've currently raised a little over $13,000. There are some flyers over there yet. They got a little weather beaten this weekend, but the website is keeptheflagsofhonorrolling.org. That's all one word, keeptheflagsofhonorrolling.org. We appreciate any support that you could provide them there. With that, I want to thank you for coming out on this beautiful Sunday afternoon to pay tribute to Ohio's fallen heroes. In just a moment, our service will conclude with a 3-volley rifle salute to our fallen heroes by your Bellevue area veterans and the playing of taps. As we bring our Ohio Flags of Honor Memorial Weekend to a close, I'd like to ask you to please stand with me for the singing of our national anthem by Miss Sandy Patty. I particularly love her version because she sings 2 verses of the song and sings the national anthem the way it should be sung, with the utmost respect and conviction. So again, there'll be 2 verses of this particular song. I don't know about you, but that song gives me the goosebumps. For every veteran that served, and for these young men and women who served and died for their country, that's the way they should be honored. That song is just, and as it plays, the flags just seem to blow harder in the wind. And I think it's the kids telling us, you got it right. You got it right, Bellevue, Ohio. Yeah, give yourself applause, folks. I think you deserve this for what you've done this weekend, please. I'd like to welcome to the podium Judy Dorsey. She's president of the Blue Star Mothers and an Ohio native. Judy?
Good afternoon. I would like to thank you guys for allowing me to be here today. As I look across this field and see the flags of 293 Ohioans who laid down their life for the privilege to stand here today, there is no greater gift in my mind that we can do to honor these fallen heroes on a daily basis. I grew up in Kentucky, and my dad was a veteran. He fought in World War II and was at the Battle of the Bulge. And he always told me as a kid growing up, make sure you honor our military. And I'd like to take this opportunity now to honor all the veterans that are in our audience. If you could stand up, please, I would like to show you my gratitude and my thanks to all of our veterans. Thank you, guys. When you hear the words, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Says a lot, doesn't it? But what does it mean? It means that when my dad went to war, it was a have-to duty that he had to do. When my son went, when other sons and daughters went, they went because they had the call in their hearts. let us not forget what they did for us and will continue to do for us. And when you look at these flags waving across, it's because our sons and our daughters stood up and said, with every ounce of pride that they could, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. To my Gold Star families, I honor you. Your sacrifice is not forgotten. You may not know it or see it on a daily basis, but you are in our hearts, and we love you, and we honor you, and we thank you for your sacrifice. So on behalf of the Blue Star Mothers of America Incorporated, thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Judy. I'd like to take a moment to thank a few people that helped make this memorial so special. I hope I'm not stealing any of your thunder here, Mayor. I often am the one who gets to stand up here in front and center and gets way too much credit for my role in putting this together. But I think all of you know that it takes a lot of good people pulling together to make something special like this happen. I'd like to take a moment now to recognize a few of those that were instrumental in putting this weekend together. And I don't typically like to do this because I eventually end up leaving somebody out. But there's a couple that have been really helpful in coordinating this weekend. And first I want to thank Ken and Don Rosbert. They came to the weekend in Parma Heights, the Flags of Honor weekend in Parma Heights last August. And right after that ceremony, they were committed to bringing the Ohio Flags of Honor to Bellevue. Gentlemen, you did an outstanding job. You should be very proud of what you've done here, very proud of your community. Thank you very much. Gino and I know the time and energy that goes into planning and preparing for a weekend like this, and we are forever grateful to you. And I know that there were several city departments also that played a huge role in getting this building and site ready for this weekend. And while I don't know you all by name, we want to thank you too for busting your butts to get this site ready in time to host us this weekend. Thank you very much. And again, to the countless volunteers that were here this weekend, and there were many people helping to set up, people that were helping during the opening ceremony, and the people that are here today helping out and will help us dismantle this display today. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for what you did for these families to ensure that the memories of their loved ones live on. We could not do this without you and your support. Thank you very much. And I'd be remiss if I didn't take the time to thank my wife, although she's not here with me. She's usually with me at most of these events. And she patiently gives me the leeway to be involved with the Ohio Flags of Honor. I have 5 of them that I'm working on this summer. She's usually with me, pitching in where she can to ensure Gino is taken care of when he is here, and that his visits here are always special. So I want to thank my wife, even though she's not here today. Thank you. To Gino and Lisa Zimmer. Where you at, Gino? I know you're hiding. There you are. You got to get up here. You know, I hate this part. Saying goodbye to you is always tough. I've had the good fortune to know Gino since April 2006 when we first met, when Gino came to visit us in Brook Park to see if we would host the memorial display. And again, Mayor Elliott agreed to do that. And we hosted Gino every 2 years after that through 2012. You've all heard how when God closes one door, he opens another. This is always hard for me. When God chose to take Gino's son, Nick, home, God opened the door to a wonderful friendship that probably never would have occurred otherwise. Actually, it's more than a friendship because I love him like a brother. In fact, he calls me his brother from another mother. Love you, buddy. As always, Gino, I pray God will continue to bless and keep you safe as you forge ahead with your vision of ensuring that we never forget the Ohioans that paid the ultimate price for our freedom. and to the families of our fallen heroes, thank you for blessing us with your presence here this weekend. And thank you for raising children that would become strong young men and women with the courage and conviction to selflessly give of themselves, believing that they could make a difference in others' lives and in this crazy world in which we live. After what I've witnessed here this weekend, it is clear that they made a difference while serving their country. And while they are no longer with us in body, they continue to touch people's lives in spirit. As Gino says, when the flags are flapping in the breeze, it's as though our fallen heroes are still talking to us. May God bless you with the strength and courage to face each new day, and may He fill your hearts and minds with His peace, a peace that surpasses all our human understanding. For the rest of us, it is our solemn duty to ensure that all of our fallen heroes from all wars are never forgotten. For as the saying goes, a man is not dead until he is forgotten. Now, a few minutes ago, I thanked a number of people for making this weekend a reality. And some of you are thinking that I left out the one person most responsible for the Flags of Honor being here. And let me assure you, I have not forgotten. With that said, it is my honor and distinct pleasure to bring up the one person most responsible for bringing the Ohio Flags of Honor to the city of Bellevue, Mayor Don Berkeley.
Wasn't expecting that.
Mayor, I want to thank you for having the guts to grab onto this when other communities wouldn't, and having the faith to believe in Ken and Don that we could pull this off in just a few short months. As Gina will tell you, there are only about 2 or 3 dozen cities throughout the state that have hosted the Flags of Honor over the past 10 years. We've approached other communities and they've chosen not to take it on for whatever reason. So Gino and I know this doesn't happen in any community without the support of the city leadership. So, sir, I thank you for the courage and commitment to hosting the Flags of Honor in your community. Thank you. Podium is yours, sir.
Thank you, Angelo. It's my pleasure that we've had the privilege to give you the opportunity to present this. I do thank Angelo and Gino and the others responsible for the Flags of Honor, and I kind of deviate because I wasn't expecting that recognition there. I'd like to thank everybody for their attendance, not only this afternoon, but those that were here on Friday for the opening. And I'd like to thank God for this opportunity I have to speak to you this morning, or this afternoon. In Matthew, the 20th chapter, verses 20 through 28, it talks about greatness in serving. And I'd like to read from verse 23. You know, the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and those who are great exercise authority over them. Yet it shall not be so among you, but whoever desires to become great among you, let him be your servant. And whoever desires to be first among you, let him be your slave. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many. As I look out and see the sea of flags that engulf our park, I see greatness. In John, the 15th chapter, verse 13, it says greater. There's that word great again. Greater love hath no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. When you look at those flags, they represent our fallen soldiers. They served and they gave their lives for us. As Christians, we are to pray without ceasing. In other words, daily and often, remembering those who sacrificed their lives for us, for our freedom, should be a daily ritual as well. I can't think of another event, another ceremony that could have topped this one in introducing our Central Park. To promote patriotism, sacrifice, giving, serving, unity, and love of fellow man. As leaders, we strive to promote these virtues daily. As leaders, we try to live these virtues daily. I again want to thank all those responsible that had a part, whether great or small, in this event. One of my heroes is Ronald Reagan. I looked up to him when I started my business 34 years ago. A lot of his success was his ability to get good people in positions to help him accomplish his goals, his vision, his mission. I had this in mind when we put the Central Park Committee together. Good people who collectively work together, united, not always seeing eye to eye, but not one to put their personal agenda above the mission and goal, the vision of a Central Park. A unique park, but one that would complement its neighbors, particularly the Veterans Memorial. I thank my fellow committee members, Jeff Crosby, Kevin Scagnetti, Steve Furr, Jeff Cook, Dave and Virginia Robinson, Dave Sabo, Mark Weisenberger, Vicki Meyer, and Ken Rosford. And again, all those involved that contributed both monetarily and physically, or both. Words cannot describe my gratitude. The park is evidence of what can be accomplished when people are united and work toward a common goal. However, the work is not done. It never will be. And so we will press on toward the next phase. The opening ceremony on Friday night was very beautiful, very emotional. It was very rewarding. It was great to see so many in attendance, to see the community gather together. It was very humbling to have parents of the fallen soldiers come up to me after the ceremony and thank me for inviting them and having the ceremony. That part was almost as emotional as the ceremony itself. It made me pause and give thanks to be involved in this worthy event. And I told them, don't thank me, but thank Don and Ken Rosberg. They are the ones that came up with the idea. I just helped to promote it. Thank you. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America.
Mayor, I'm grateful and proud of the way your staff, City Council, Ken and Don Rosbert, and your community have embraced Gino and I. And I can only hope that you've picked up on Gino's heartbeat for our fallen heroes, and not just the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, but for all wars in which our brave men and women have served with distinction and died with honor. This ceremony represents our final salute to their lives, lives well lived, and a tribute to true service to our country. It's a salute of love, peace, and freedom. Please stand now as we conclude our ceremony with the singing of Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA. And then please remain standing after that. We'll do the 3 volley salute and the playing of taps.
But there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Mark time, march. Detail.